wire is up in the roof behind the wood.
Yes.
So it's ready to be paneled and insulated, just like a house. You know, when they build a home, it's got the wiring behind the house.
Oh wow,
So,
that is
and you
amazing.
can see this model is really, it's extra built because they double up the 2x4s on this one because of the porch.
Yes.
And stuff, and then they do the 2x6s in the roof.
Exactly.
So this building is like double built compared to my standard building.
That's amazing. Now, you mentioned that your brother did the tiny house thing and converted it. Did he do the work himself, or was he using outside?
He had a couple of different. He had a plumber come in. He had an electrician come in. Our buddy does sheetrock, so he had a crew come out and put the sheetrock in.
Oh my
and
gosh,
yeah,
that's
he had it all done.
Because that's actually what I'm thinking.
He even put a little septic tank out there.
Yes.
And what he did was he built a porch over top of the septic tank and you go to the 30. But this one we just put the large windows in because we knew it would be used for, you know, a little man cave or she shed.
Yeah.
To try to do that, not have a permit, then they say, hey, well, you know, you didn't get a permit, we're coming out to check it.
Exactly.
And then they say, oh, you've turned this into you know, it's not for human habitation.
Right, technically.
But you can get an engineer to say it is, but it just costs a lot of money.
Costs a lot of money for the engineer to say that.
Yeah, so, you know, but they're wind rated by the state to 160 miles an hour there. All this info. So it's wind rated, it meets all the codes. In Georgia and Alabama and Tennessee, they turn these into houses all the time. Don't need a special permit or anything.
That's amazing.
Mississippi,
and that's
Alabama, the codes are different. You know, here, because of the hurricanes, they're just extra careful.
Exactly.
They're gonna put, you know, walls on the inside, obviously.
Right, walls and
you know.
Yeah.
So it gives you that, and you're gonna insulate it.
Yes, insulation, walls, flooring. Absolutely. Now, do you know how many sheds you can technically have on a property? Because I was thinking that as well.
It depends on the size of the property. And
So,
then, so it can depend on the size.
Okay, because there's an acre.
What it's zoned for.
Oh, got it.
You know,
okay.
If you're zoned agricultural, you know, you've got a lot more leeway. If you're just a 2-acre residential, 1-acre residential, you're going to be somewhat limited on how many you can have.
Okay. So it's best to get the right size and to check that before, absolutely.
That's right. You know, especially, because here's the other thing about permitting. If you're ever going to sell the property, you have to have all the buildings on it, you know, permitted and stuff.
Permitted.
So that's something that, you know, unless that's your lifetime place and you're a young person, you're probably going to sell that, go somewhere different at some point.
Exactly.
You know, so you want to have all that stuff permitted and done, and then you're good to go. And then when you sell the house, you can sell, because now my brother's built his house.
Right.
That cabin is there. She uses it, we call it a mother-in-law cabin. When all her friends come in town, they got a place to stay, and it's right there, and they don't feel like they're under her inside the house. They can stay for a week and feel like they got their own space, you know?
Because the mother-in-law suite happens all the time, and that's what I was thinking. Doing a larger home and then having a secondary home, because then you can mother-in-law suite, rent it, family.
And then once you've got it permitted for storage and you've done that, it's easier to ask forgiveness than permission originally.
Now, what's the price point on this 12 by 24?
I need to double check for you because I want to be 100%.
Absolutely, that's always important.
There's
no extra charge for different colors?
No,
oh, wow.
I can order you one and get it the exact colors and layout you want, and it's the same price.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, and
happy to do that.
Nice little porch there.
So that's the 9-light door. I also offer a standard mobile home door with no lights in it. That's substantially less expensive.
Okay. Model with the roll-up doors, less expensive. Okay.
It is. That model is $10,703. And then that model is almost the same. It's going to be almost, you know, in the high 9,000s.
Got it. Yeah. Okay.
So you would have to spend the money to have somebody, when they finish it, to build that wall. Super simple to do. It's wood. It's just 2x4s and wood. You just
put a wall up. Exactly.
Put it right into what's already there.
9677. Okay.
And that had the 9-light door, and that one had 3 large windows. 2 lights and 2 receptacles, I believe.
Yes.
One receptacle. It only had one.
Oh, it had the one receptacle in the very
says.
back?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the one I saw.
No, there was another one then. It wasn't just
there
the
was
one.
one on the
Okay, so
side.
there is 2.
Okay.
I'll double check that. And there is an AC frame out.
Mm-hmm.
And I would do that no charge on any building. So
The
that's
AC frame out?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, for no
even
charge.
Yeah.
That way you don't waste a window on your AC.
Right.
And it's a simple frame out. It's
Exactly.
not anything complicated. So then, like I said, that 12 by 30, now it's just a standard. It would be a little more with a 42-inch mobile home door, but just to give you an idea, with a 4-foot standard door, it comes with 3 large windows. It definitely has 2 lights and 2 receptacles. It has a 9-wide roll-up, and it's $10,703.
Okay.
And then so it wouldn't be, but just because I would give you credit for this door when I did this.
Yes.
And so it would be about a $300 upgrade, $250 upgrade to go to that. So
go to that
just
one.
kind of keep it in mind.
Absolutely.
We can set them up however you like, know,
Okay.
and that would look like something like this.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what, like my brother's, his door is down there on that side, just like that.
Exactly.
And I'm trying to think. He did do a mobile home door.
He did a mobile home
it's
door,
highly
too.
recommended because
Yeah.
it's insulated.
Absolutely.
So when you're, it's.
And
so,
I would prefer that than the windows anyway, because
well, you could still do the windows.
I mean, no, the windows on the door.
Oh,
nine
the
panels.
9-light
You know what I
door.
mean?
Yeah. It's better to do.
So then he put his wall here, and he had
He
so he
did.
could put his storage equipment, lawn equipment back here.
And his porch came right off of this right here because he never drove anything in there. It was all
Exactly.
like boxes and stuff,
Yeah.
mattress. And so he put that porch right over the top and had that hatch in it, and he bought that 10-foot wide septic tank that you can get from Lowe's or Home Depot, and he dug it and put it right there. And so he had his septic tank for his bathroom and shower.
That's amazing.
And he had a hatch for it, and it's never had to be pumped or anything. It's barely used, so it works really well.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm glad I came here today
And
because
so far so good. You
Yeah.
know, he got a permit,
Yeah.
and we're out
Which
on
is what I would do
ag
is-
land. We're on 10, he's on that property's 10 acres.
Okay.
So and it is zoned agricultural. So they don't really mess with us out there
Yeah.
as bad as some of these there, like around here. They're
Yeah.
horrible.
Oh,
they're
I know.
terrible around here.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah,
Various
that's
colors.
probably easier.
Oh, and I'm sure we came here before, but yes, we did the emerald green. So, of course, with Florida being so hot, I would probably go with the lighter color, but not a
and
white.
here's the other thing: it's the heat thing, and then less potential for fading down
Yeah,
the road.
that's true.
Down the
Absolutely.
road. I was like, wow,
Time
man,
flies. Isn't that
Yeah, it's
something?
like I feel old. You were literally like this big when
Right.
I first saw
when you start, exactly.
and now you're graduated from high school. So.
Two-bedroom, two-bath mobile home. Walk-in closet. That's the flooring. vanity. Shower. Okay, this is a single wide home with washer dryer hookups here, cabinetry. Okay, it's got a couple of cabinets, washer dryer hookups here in the hallway. Second bathroom. Okay, that doesn't look great the way that's painted. Light fixtures, tub. Yeah. Hot water heater. Another window on this side. It's got the same flooring throughout the whole home. And this is the second bedroom. The other bedroom is the master. Okay, that's the second bedroom here. Okay, that chirping of that alarm is super annoying. And then here's the kitchen. Well, actually, that's a window. I got fascinated by the window. All right, kitchen. I like the blue appliances. Okay, very spacious living room and kitchen combined, and nice and open. I already came by here maybe 3-4 weeks ago, and I'm just vlogging this for you guys because I was like, okay, this is kind of boring. I don't think I want to vlog looking at tiny homes. But then I decided, well, why not? You know, because in case somebody else is interested, there's a lot of talk about that movement right now. And so it's actually, I think, so important in America. I'm right by a major highway. I hope you guys can hear all that traffic. But it's so important now in America to, I think, look at options, consider the best ways that we can, you know, do as well for ourselves in this economy, as well as, oh my gosh, I think I'm gonna go to the car, you guys. Beep, beep. Let me go sit in the car. The car is not gonna be as nice as this backdrop here, but let's get out of this beeping and then we'll talk. I don't like this. I don't know what that's even called, but it just looks messy to me. I don't like that little trim. But there is a nice porch on this home, so, and there's a storm door as well. So obviously the house door, it's got a nice storm door. It's also $109,000, which to me is ridiculous for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath mobile home. And I just think, I bought one new in 2007. It was, the price of the home itself was $58,000. So, I mean, I thought it would be maybe like $80,000, $90,000 now, but the fact that they're over 100 is kind of ridiculous. Anyway, let's check out this nice porch and then we'll go to the car to talk. Alright guys, so I'm in the car now and I will resume the conversation. So actually I'm going to make the conversation concise. yeah, I've been in this little tiny home search, and it was so nice today to go and go to the mobile home, not mobile home, to go to the shed place, because that particular place was where I got Mom a shed from in 2014. A beautiful emerald green shed with white trim and a porch. And I was like, I'm gonna go check this out. I've been considering the wanting to research the tiny home thing for a minute. And it wasn't even necessarily starting out tiny home, because when I've looked in the past, or when I've seen articles in the past about tiny homes, what I've noticed is that I'm like, they're upwards of 100,000. I'm like, heck no, why would I pay 100 grand? And by the way, if somebody's done this, this is no judgment. It's just for me personally, I don't want a super tiny space if it's gonna cost me as much as I could get like a traditional mobile home for. And that's what I've seen a lot of, you know, these container homes and smaller 500 square feet and under spaces, and they're like over 100,000. Now they are decked out, beautiful on the inside, looks like a traditional larger home, but still for that space there's just no way that I would personally pay that, because I would just go a different route. If I was going smaller and not wanting to go conventional home, then I would just go to a mobile home. So that's why I'm glad I was able to show you the 2-bedroom, 2-bath, single wide mobile home, because a lot of people are financially wanting to figure out like how to be in a better position, as well as there's a lot of struggle in America. There's a lot of unemployment. So it's just nice to know there's other options, and it's nice to think outside of the box. Even if I don't go with, or even if you don't go with something tiny, it's kind of cool to know, like, okay, if I have a mother-in-law, father-in-law, or mom or dad that's going to stay on property with me, could I do one of these smaller homes? Even if I have the big, you know, conventional home, maybe they still want their autonomy and they just want to be on property, and I want them near me so I can constantly, you know, just walk those few steps and check on them all the time and make sure that they're cared for. But it's nice to have that in-law suite set up, and to have something like a shed, because that is shed to home for people that literally live in one structure and then rent out the other structure for income. I'm like, this is kind of cool if you could really get into a little tiny home, or if you have a big home and you just want to if you're living in a big house and you want to just have a rental unit, I'm like, oh, this is kind of neat. So at this point, I'm just researching, just looking, but I wanted to share that information with you guys. I hope you find that useful, and I hope you enjoyed this vlog. All right, guys, let me turn the car back on before I totally melt into, like, I don't know what I'm gonna melt into. Melting chocolate. Okay, anyways, that was weird. So, guys, be well. God bless you. I will see you in the next vlog.